Hello my dear students, a very good afternoon to all of you. Welcome back to your favorite channel NEET World. This is Vasavi Ma'am, your biology educator. Yes, so students, in the previous class we have done with the mechanism of respiration, right my dear students? We have understood clearly how the mechanism of inspiration as well as expiration is going to takes place and what are the muscles involved and what are its movements. Okay, so each and everything we have done in the previous session. If you have any doubts, please let me know in the comment section my dear students. Yes. So, coming towards the today's particular session, we are going to discuss one of the most crucial and one of the most important topic for NEET as well as for the IP. Okay. So, that is all about the respiratory volumes and capacities my dear students. Okay. So, it is one of the damn sure topic. Okay. So, it is one of the most important concept to be remembered for NEET as well as IP. Okay. So, all the online students who are watching this particular session, please stay tuned until the session gets end and pay your attention my dear students. Okay. So, it seems to be very confused but it's too easy to understand. Okay. Yes. So, respiratory volumes and capacities. Okay. So, let us understand about the respiratory volumes and capacities. Okay. Yes. Most important for NEET as well as IP. Okay. No chance to skip these particular concept my dear students. Okay. Slowly understand whatever I am explaining to all of you. Okay. Just please note down and take the screenshots wherever if required. Okay. Yes. So, now clearly look into this particular slide whatever I am explaining. Tidal volume. Okay. So, what is tidal volume actually? Okay. So, first observe this particular diagram here. Okay. Imagine this as my lung. Okay. So, just imagine this as my lung. Okay. And the tidal volume, okay, tidal volume is nothing but, okay, tidal volume is nothing but the amount of air that we inspire or expire during the normal breathing my dear students. Okay. So, now this is the lung. Okay. So, just imagine this is the lung and when it comes to the tidal volume. Okay. So, students, tidal volume is nothing but, okay. So, the yes, let me choose another color. Yes. So, tidal volume is nothing but the amount of air that we inspire or else that the amount of air that we inhale or exhale during the normal breathing. Okay. So, it is nothing but, okay, if you look into the volume, okay, if you look into the tidal volume, it is approximately 500 ml my dear students. Okay. So, it is approximately 500 ml. Okay. So, this is the lung, right? Yes. So, this is the lung. Now, the amount of air that we inhale or exhale during the normal breathing. So, its value will be, yes. Okay. So, its value will be how much my dear students? 500 ml. Okay. Yes. So, during the normal breathing and okay, during the normal inhalation and exhalation in the sense. So, now continuously I am speaking to all of you and I am taking the class, right? So, normal breathing, okay, normal inspiration and expiration is nothing but, okay. So, this process, okay. So, during this normal inspiration and normal expiration otherwise, during this normal breathing, the amount of air that we inhale and the amount of air that we exhale, so that particular value is 500 ml, okay. Isn't it my dear students? So, this is called as the tidal volume and the value is 500 ml my dear students. Okay. So, no need to confuse at all. So, once again I am making clear to all of you because the diagram seems to be not clear. So, once again I am making clear to all of you, just focus here. Yes. So, suppose this will be the lung. Okay. So, now the tidal volume is nothing but the amount of air. Okay. So, tidal volume is nothing but the amount of air that we inhale, okay, or else that we exhale. Okay. So, that value what it is my dear students? It is 500 ml. Okay. Clear all of you? It is very easy to understand. Okay. So, it is very easy to understand but little bit confused when you are going to remember all the volumes. Okay. So slowly understand each and every volume. Okay, so slowly understand each and every respiratory volumes. Okay, so clear with the tidal volume, my dear students. See, if you look into these NCERT lines, whole inspired air doesn't reach up to the lungs. Okay, so the portion of air which remains in the respiratory tract is called as what it is? Dead space, anatomical dead space. Okay, so we are saying that the amount of air that we inspire or that amount of air that we are going to expire, that is nothing but the amount of air that we are going to inhale or exhale, that value is 500 ml, and this is only called as the tidal volume, right? But whatever the air we are inhaling and whatever the air we are exhaling, okay, whatever the air we are inhaling, all the air may not reach up to the lungs. Okay, so few amount of the air that remains only in the respiratory tract. Okay, so if you have any doubt regarding this particular mechanism of inspiration and expiration, please just watch the live sessions in our YouTube channel, NEET World. Okay, so clear with this particular respiratory volume, my dear students. So it is the first respiratory volume, that is nothing but the tidal volume. Okay, so all the amount of air whatever we are going to inhale, it may not reach to the lungs, but few amount of the air that remains only in the respiratory tract. Okay, that is nothing but the amount of air that may remain in the bronchus, bronchi and bronchioles. Okay, so it may not reach to the alveoli and the lungs. Okay, all the air which is going to remain only in this respiratory tract, that we are calling it as what, my dear students? Anatomical dead air. Okay, clear with this tidal volume? Yes. So now we will understand another important respiratory volume, that is nothing but the, yes, so that is nothing but inspiratory volume. Okay, inspiratory reserve volume. Okay, so we will understand what it is actually. So inspiratory reserve volume is nothing but the amount of air that we are going to inspire during the forceful inspiration. Clear? Yes. So once again I am going to explain you. So the amount of air that we are going to inhale during the forceful inspiration, that is nothing but, see, normal breathing is nothing but, okay, so this will be the normal breathing. Forceful inspiration in the sense, okay, so this forceful inspiration, okay, during this forceful inspiration, whatever the air we are going to inhale, that is only called as inspiratory reserve volume. Okay, so if we look into the value, it is going to be approximately, yes, so the value is approximately 3000 ml. Okay, so it varies, my dear students. Okay, it may be up to 2.5 to 3000 ml. Okay, so clear with the inspiratory volume? Inspiratory volume is nothing, my dear students. Okay, so it is just the air that we are going to inhale during the forceful inspiration. Okay, so generally we are going to do the breathing, normal breathing, right? But the air whatever we are going to inhale, okay, this particular process is called as inspiratory reserve volume. The extra amount of the air whatever we are going to inhale during the forceful inspiration, that is only called as inspiratory reserve volume. Okay, so students, so this will be, okay, so this concept is damn sure topic. Okay, so you need to remember, okay, there is no doubt to skip this particular concept. Okay, respiratory volumes and capacities. Okay, so this complete values and each and everything is important for IP point of view as well as for the NEET also. Okay, so you feel difficulty whenever you are not going to remember these particular values. Okay, so you need to understand each and every respiratory values. Okay, yes, clear, my dear students? Understood about the inspiratory reserve volume? Yes. So yes, once again I am going to show you by the diagrammatic representation. Okay, suppose this will be the lung. Okay, so just imagine this as the lung. Okay, so now we need to understand, yes, what is tidal volume? Yes, tidal volume is nothing but the amount of air that we inhale or exhale during the normal breathing. Okay, so what is that value? It will be of approximately 500 ml. Okay, so now inspiratory reserve volume is nothing but the amount of air that we inhale during the forceful inspiration. Okay, during the forceful inspiration, the extra amount of air whatever we are inhaling, that is only called as inspiratory reserve volume. Okay, so what is the value? 3000 ml. Okay, so it varies approximately, it may be from 2.5 to 3. Okay, clear? So now expiratory reserve volume. Clear, my dear students? Expiratory reserve volume. Okay, so now what is expiratory reserve volume? Just you people just go on observing here whatever I am drawing on the board. Okay, so it is just the hypothetical diagram to understand to all of you. Okay, so now clear? So yes, so this will be the tidal volume and this will be the inspiratory reserve volume. So now we need to understand about the expiratory reserve volume. Okay, so it is very easy, my dear students. Expiratory reserve volume is nothing but the amount of air that we exhale during the forceful expiration. Okay, so nothing, see, inspiratory reserve volume is nothing but, okay, the extra amount of air whatever we are inhaling, that is only called as IRV, right? So now expiratory reserve volume in the sense whatever the amount of air that we inhaled during the forceful inspiration that we need to exhale, right? Okay, so the extra amount of air that we are going to exhale during the forceful expiration, that is only called as what? Expiratory reserve volume. Okay, normal breathing is different, my dear students. Okay, so during the normal breathing, the air what we inhale and exhale, it is just 500 ml, but the extra air that we are going to exhale, that is only called as expiratory reserve volume. Yes. Okay, so this is only called as the expiratory reserve volume, and now you need to understand its main value, my dear students. Okay, so what will be the value of the expiratory reserve volume? So it is most important. Whenever you people are going to forget these particular values, then you are not going to get the marks and you are not going to score in your competitive as well as in your IP examinations. Okay, so always try to remember the volumes. Always try to remember the respiratory volumes. Okay, so now expiratory reserve volume in the sense the amount of air that we exhale during the forceful expiration. Okay, so what it is? Yes, so what will be the value? Yes, so this actually it is going to come here, my dear students. Yes, yes, so this value will be of, yes, so the value will be of 100, okay, not 100, 1000 to, yes, 1100, my dear students. Okay, so what it is? It is ERV. Yes, so what it is? It is ERV, right? Yes. So now next, clear, my dear students, clear with the tidal volume, inspiratory reserve volume and the expiratory reserve volume. Okay, so it seems to be very easy whenever you are understanding only particular volumes, but it becomes difficult when you are going to understand all the capacities. Okay, so we are also going to look into that. Just please stay tuned until the session gets end, then it becomes easy to all of you. Okay, yes, clear, my dear students? Yes. So now we will understand the residual volume. Okay, so we will understand the residual volume, my dear students. What is residual volume in the sense? Okay, so what will be the tidal volume? 500 ml, right? So what will be the inspiratory reserve volume? 3000 ml. Okay, so it approximately 3000 to 2.5 ml. Okay, and next one, expiratory reserve volume is 1000 to 1100 ml, right? So now you need to understand what is the residual volume. Okay, so students, residual volume is nothing but the amount of air that remains in the lungs. Okay, so it doesn't depend on the inspiration or expiration. Okay, so clearly understand residual volume in the sense the air which remains in the lungs. Okay, so it doesn't matter whether we inhale or exhale, but the volume is constant inside the lungs, and that particular constant volume is only called as the residual volume. If we look into that, it is going to be approximately 1200 to 1500 ml. Yes. Yes, all the online students, yes, stay tuned. Yes, by that it becomes easy to all of you. Yes. So once again you have to look into the diagrammatic representation, my dear students. Yes. So see here. Yes. Yes, just a minute. Yes. So this will be the lungs, right? Yes. So this will be the lungs and this will be the tidal volume. Okay. What will be the value of tidal volume, my dear students? 500 ml. and inspiratory reserve volume in the sense the amount of air that we inhale during the forceful inspiration, that will be of approximately 2.5 to 3000 ml, okay, 2.5 to 3000 ml. Okay, and next one, expiratory reserve volume in the sense the air that we are going to exhale during the forceful expiration, the extra amount of air whatever we are going to exhale, that is only called as, yes, that is only called as what, my dear students? Expiratory reserve volume. And what will be the value? Yes, what will be the value? The value will be of, yes, 1100 to, yes, 1100 to 1000 ml. Clear, my dear students? Okay. So, once again I am going to show you with the different colors, by that it becomes easy to all of you. So, this is the normal lungs, okay. So, this will be the tidal volume 500 ml, and next one, this will be the IRV, okay, this will be the IRV, and next one, this is called as ERV, okay, ERV, and next one, okay, what we said, residual volume in the sense the amount of air, okay, the amount of air which remains constant inside the lungs, okay, it always remains constant inside the lungs. It does not matter whether we inhale the extra amount of air or else we exhale the extra amount of the air, but the value will be and the volume will be constant inside the lungs, and that particular volume is only called as residual volume, okay. So, it remains here, okay, residual volume, and that approximately the value will be of 1200 to 1500 ml. Clear, my dear students? So, this is all about the respiratory volumes, okay. So, students, yes, clear with this particular concept, okay. So, this is all about the respiratory volumes. So, now we will understand the capacities, okay. So, now we will understand the capacities, okay. So, that is also of the 4 different types, okay. So, pulmonary capacities, yes, just a minute, my dear students, yes. So, pulmonary capacities, okay. So, under the pulmonary capacities, we need to understand about the inspiratory capacity, vital capacity, total lung capacity, and functional residual capacity, okay. So, what it is actually, I am going to explain you, yes. So, once again have a look here, my dear student, what actually this particular inspiratory capacity is going to define, yes. So, inspiratory capacity is nothing but it is sum of the inspiratory reserve volume plus tidal volume, okay. So, clearly just do not look into these particular definition or else lines, just go on observing whatever I am drawing here, okay. So, this will be the lungs, right. So, now what it is, just see here, it is the amount of air that one can inspire, okay, that one can inspire, okay. So, just leave it is, but just have a look on this. Inspiratory capacity is nothing but it is the sum of the inspiratory reserve volume plus tidal volume, okay. So, tidal volume is nothing but the, okay, the air that we inhale or exhale during the normal breathing, okay. So, along with the tidal volume, okay, along with the tidal volume, we are inhaling few extra amount of the air, right. So, that is only the IRV, okay. So, now completely the inspiratory capacity is nothing but the tidal volume plus the inspiratory reserve volume, okay. So, first the tidal volume is nothing but 500 ml, and along with the tidal volume, along with the 500 ml, what we are inhaling, my dear students, extra air we are inhaling, right. So, that is only called as IRV, okay, IRV. And what will be the value of the IRV? See here, 3000 ml, okay, 3000 ml, okay, yes. So, now completely the inspiratory reserve volume, okay. So, the completely the inspiratory capacity is nothing but IRV plus TV, okay, TV in the sense tidal volume, okay. Is clear, my dear students? Clear all the online students? Yes. So, inspiratory reserve volume, yes, inspiratory capacity is nothing but the air whatever we are inhaling, okay, what we are inhaling, the along with the tidal volume we are also going to inhale few amount of the air during the forceful inspiration. So, that is only called as the inspiratory capacity. Inspiratory capacity is simple, my dear students, okay. So it is just the sum of IRV, the sum of the extra amount of air along with the tidal volume, okay. If you look into the volumes, 3000 plus 500 ml, okay. So completely the inspiratory capacity volume will be of 3500 ml, okay. So clear, my dear students. So this is about the inspiratory capacity, okay. Inspiratory capacity is nothing but the air whatever we are going to inhale, okay. During the normal breathing we are going to inhale and exhale, okay. During the normal breathing the air that we inhale, it is 500 ml, and along with this whatever the air we are inhaling during the forceful inspiration, that is called as IRV, that is nothing but 3000 ml. So now practically I am going to show you just simply, okay. So just I am going to show you, see, okay. So what it is normal breathing. So now during the normal breathing whatever we are inhaling, it is just 500 ml, okay. So now along with the 500 ml, along with the normal breathing, along with the tidal volume, the extra air whatever we are inhaling, that is called as IRV. So completely the inspiratory capacity is the sum of IRV plus TV. Clear? Clear all the online students? Yes. So now we will understand the functional residual capacity. So the functional residual capacity, what it is actually in the sense? Yes. So once again have a look on this particular diagram, okay. So just imagine this as a lung, okay. So the diagram seems to be so weird, but even though just understand the concept, my dear students, okay. So just imagine this as the lung, okay. So now look here, functional residual capacity in the sense it is sum of ERV plus RV. What is ERV, my dear students? Okay, yes. So what is ERV? Yes, the ERV plus RV, okay, residual volume plus inspiratory capacity, okay, expiratory reserve volume, right. Yes, ERV in the sense expiratory reserve volume and RV in the sense residual volume, okay. So now look here, so this will be the lungs, okay. So expiratory reserve volume in the sense the extra amount of air that we are going to exhale during the forceful expiration, okay. So this is just not about buttifying, my dear students, you need to understand, okay, you need to understand how the mechanism is going to takes place, okay. Yes, expiratory reserve volume in the sense, okay, extra air whatever we are going to exhale during the forceful expiration, okay. So what will be the value? Yes. So this will be extra amount of the air that we are going to exhale during the forceful expiration, and this value will be, okay, ERV value will be 3000, yes. So the value of the ERV is 1000 ml, right. So the value will be of 1000 ml, and along with this, okay, along with the forceful expiration, here there is the amount of air, okay. So there is the amount of the volume which is constant inside the lungs, okay. So along with this the volume is constant inside the lungs, and that particular volume is called as residual volume, it always remains constant, okay. What will be the value of residual volume, my dear students? 1200 ml, okay. So here at this region whatever the air that is stored inside the lungs, that is called as residual volume, okay. If you look into the value, it is 1200 ml. Clear now? Clear, my dear students? So now what it is actually? It is functional residual capacity, okay. Functional residual capacity in the sense along with the, yes, along with the expiration, okay, during the expiration, yes, during the forceful expiration the value will be of 1000 ml, okay. So the functional residual capacity is just nothing but the sum of, yes. So the functional residual capacity is nothing but the amount of air whatever we are going to exhale during the forceful expiration. Along with this we also need to count the residual capacity, okay, residual volume, okay. Residual volume in the sense the air, the volume of the air that will be stored constantly inside the lungs, okay. It remains as it is inside the lungs, okay. But ERV in the sense the extra air that we exhale during the forceful expiration, okay. So now the sum of ERV plus RV is only called as functional residual capacity. Yes. So students, it is not about just buttifying or just remembering. You need to understand the concept, and always you need to remember the volumes. Always you need to remember the respiratory volumes. Okay. If you are unable to remember, then it becomes very difficult to answer all the questions in the competitive examination, right? Yes. So all the online students, if you have any doubts, please let me know in the comment section. Yes. Yes students, okay. So now next we will understand, yes students, functional residual capacity. Is it clear to all of you? Yes. So now next we are going to move towards the vital capacity, okay, vital capacity, okay. Just have a look here. So vital capacity is nothing but, okay, so vital capacity is nothing but the sum of IRV, ERV plus TV, okay. So here we need not to count the residual volume, okay. So here along with the tidal volume, okay, along with the during the normal breathing, okay, during the normal inhalation and exhalation, the value will be same. It is 500 ml, that is fixed, okay my dear students. But along with the tidal volume, we are inhaling the extra air, that is IRV, and that value will be 3000, yes, 3000 ml, okay. And next one, when it comes to ERV, okay, along with the tidal volume, along with the normal breathing, along with the normal exhalation, we are also going to exhale the extra amount of air, that is only called as ERV, okay, extra, yes, expiratory reserve volume, and that value will be 1000 ml plus 500 ml. How we got this particular 500 ml volume, my dear students? So it is about the tidal volume only, right? So it is the value of the tidal volume, okay. During the normal inhalation, exhalation, the value will be same, that is 500 ml, okay. Clear now? So when yes, so completely the vital capacity volume, okay. So completely the vital capacity is, the value will be of 4.5 ml, okay. So it varies approximately 4.3 to 4.8. Clear my dear students? Once if you are going to remember the IRV, ERV, TV and RV, all these things, then easily you can understand the vital capacity, inspiratory capacities and expiratory capacities. Yes? Yes. Clear with this? So now let's understand about the total lung capacity, okay. So students, here we need not to count about the residual volume, okay. So no need to count about the residual volume, it always remains same, okay, during either in the forceful expiration or inspiration, okay. But always you need to remember IRV, ERV and TV volumes, okay. Then it becomes easy to understand each and everything. Now total lung capacity, okay. So total lung capacity, what is total lung capacity actually, okay. So total lung capacity is nothing but the amount of air that our lungs can hold, okay. The maximum amount of air that our lungs can hold, that is only called as total lung capacity, okay. In the total lung capacity, we need to count each and everything, my dear students, okay. Inspiratory reserve volume, okay, tidal volume, expiratory reserve volume and residual volume, okay. So along during the normal breathing 500 ml, during the forceful inspiration what will be the value? 3000 ml, okay. During the forceful expiration, the value will be of 1000 ml, and the residual volume, the amount of air which remains inside the lungs every time, at any time, that will be of 1200 ml, okay. So we need to count each and everything, the total, in the total lung capacity, along with the tidal volume, along with the 500 ml, the extra amount of air that we inhale and the extra amount of air that we exhale along with the tidal volume, and the amount of air that remains inside the lungs constantly, okay. So that is called as residual volume, right. So okay, so the sum of IRV, ERV, TV plus RV, okay. So the sum of all these things, it is only called as total lung capacity, okay. So if we look into the value, yes, 6000 ml is, okay, 6000 ml, okay, approximately 5.7 to 6000 ml is the total lung capacity, okay. So it means our lungs can hold the maximum amount of air, that value will be of 6000 to approximately 5.7 ml, my dear students. Okay, so clear with these respiratory capacities and yes, so respiratory volumes and the pulmonary capacities, my dear students. So it is easy, my dear students. Okay, so no need to worry about that, but all the thing that you need to do is you need to remember the volumes, you need to remember the respiratory volumes. Okay, just practically imagine and practically learn the concept, my dear students. Okay, so it is not about just buttifying each and everything. Tidal volume in the sense the amount of air that we inhale or exhale during the normal breathing. Okay, so this will be of tidal volume 500 ml, and next forceful, IRV in the sense forceful inspiration. Okay, instead of normal breathing, the extra air whatever we are going to inhale, that is only will be the IRV. And next, when it comes to ERV, when it comes to expiratory reserve volume, okay, yes, instead of the normal expiration, the extra air whatever we are going to exhale, the extra amount of air, that is only called as ERV. And what will be the residual volume, my dear students? The air which will be permanently and which will be constantly present inside the lungs, that is only called as residual volume. Okay, so this is all about the respiratory volumes. And when it comes to the pulmonary capacities, you need to understand about the inspiratory capacities, okay, functional residual capacities and total lung capacity and vital capacity. Okay, so please remember each and everything. If you are feeling confused, just please let me know in the comment section, and if you have any doubts, otherwise if you are feeling very difficult to understand the concept, please watch these sessions again and again in our YouTube channel NEET World. Yes, like, share and subscribe to NEET World, and meet you all in the next upcoming live session. In the next session, we are going to discuss about the transportation of the oxygen and exchange of gases, each and everything, my dear students. Okay, so the most important thing, we are also going to learn about the disorders of the respiratory system. Okay, so each and everything completely it is important for NEET point of view as well as for the IP point of view. Yes, stay tuned. Yes, subscribe.